Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering the Pope, honoring the late pontiff, and what is next in the Catholic Church's search for a leader.
Milton makes moves how two fast food chains are attempting to set up shops near the banks of the Broadkill.
Bridge back open. That's the plan for Slaughter Beach. We look at the impact its month-long closure has had on the community.
A toasty Tuesday for Delmarva as a warm front is bringing in temperatures near 80 degrees today. A bit milder for the rest of the week behind a cold front and remaining dry. Details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, and it is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
And fans of the Washington Capitals, like yourself, waking up this morning.
I'm a new fan.
Pretty happy after a heroic effort by Alex Ovechkin.
I'm also happy Cleveland won.
That's nice for you.
Beat the Yankees.
Bob, you're in a good mood today.
Bob,
I noticed you had a little pep in your
Yes.
step as you entered the studio today.
Oh, do I have a little smile on my face today? I'm happy. Good morning, guys. Mets won last night. Didn't mean to spoil the sports segment, but good win for the Mets. They hung on in the ninth inning. Let's talk about the weather. We are looking at some showers popping up out there around Millsboro, Delmar, Ocean Pines, too. These are stray showers. Nothing all that heavy, but maybe a shower around Millsboro. Some heavier rain near Quantico, near Princess Anne, towards Whiteburg, around Salisbury. So not a bad idea to grab the umbrella this morning for a few stray showers. That's along a warm front that's moving through right now, and that's going to usher in much milder air today. A cold front back to the west, well, that will start to cool us off as we go into tomorrow. Apologize for missing some of the temperatures at the beaches, but 58 in Ocean City, 66 Salisbury, and 66 in Georgetown. Very mild as we're into a southwesterly breeze. So we'll be quickly warming through the 60s this morning. Watch for those stray showers. By the noon hour, we're into the mid-70s, and I think we're close to 80 as we go into the afternoon. Inland areas cooler for the coast, but a nice taste of summer once again. This crazy spring weather continues with, once again, a few stray showers this morning, otherwise a mix of sun and clouds and a warm day. Not as warm for the rest of the weekend, remaining dry. Maybe some heavier rain for Saturday. I'll talk about that in my full forecast a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. We have a live shot now. This is halfway around the world, St. Peter's Square at Vatican City in Rome, and many people have been flocking to this site since learning of the passing of Pope Francis. Our top story this half hour is the death of the Pope and the funeral rites planned for the man who led the Catholic Church.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us attention is now turning to the Cardinals' preparation to elect a new Pope.
As tributes pour in for the people's Pope who led the Catholic Church toward a more progressive path.
Pope Francis had a way of getting the church to think outside the box.
Centuries-old traditions are underway. While the faithful mourn, cardinals are at the Vatican going through details of the funeral, their first meeting since Pope Francis's death at 88, caused, the Vatican says, by a stroke and heart failure. President Trump preparing to attend the funeral in the coming days.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
Though as dignitaries descend, Pope Francis is being remembered most for his devotion to the least among us.
He is the Pope of the poor, the Pope of the marginalized, underprivileged.
With a heart for children, Jocelyn Aquino met Pope Francis when she was just 12 years old, greeting him on his one and only visit to the U.S. back in 2015. The daughter of immigrants from El Salvador spoke in Spanish with the first Pope from Latin America.
This is the leader of the Catholic Church. This is the most powerful man. And I was just like, wow, you spoke to me in my native language. Like, it was just amazing.
A leader who spoke to so many, even beyond the Catholic Church. He addressed Congress on that trip to Washington, never shying away from voicing his views, from ending the wars in Ukraine and Gaza to advocating for immigrants and moving toward acceptance for the LGBTQ community. Often at odds with traditionalists, he cemented his legacy as a reformer. As cardinals prepare for the conclave to elect his successor and decide the next direction for the Catholic Church. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
This just in, the proposed Dairy Queen in Milton is looking to take the next step to becoming a reality. A public hearing is taking place tonight at the Planning and Zoning meeting about the site plans. 302 Chicken LLC, Pannoni Associates Incorporated, are expected to present revisions for the fast food restaurant planned for 405 Broadkill Road. It's right across the street from where the McDonald's is located. Also at that Planning and Zoning meeting, the Dunkin' Donuts, set for that same area, is looking to get its revised plans approved. Several of the items that are being presented include details about the sidewalks and sewer connections. Dunkin' first made its pitch to the town in the fall of 2024. The original plans call for over 2,800 square feet for the coffee chain restaurant.
If you've driven down Route 1 or 16, you know it's busy, and the intersection of the two is dangerous. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions. Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project will begin. Delmarva says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding area continues. Some neighbors tell CoastTV they're optimistic about the changes.
Once the summer comes, I imagine it's going to be quite busy. So this is going to relieve some of the traffic around here.
And Delmarva says to expect delays today as work takes place to shift traffic.
Delaware is continuing to push for electric vehicles by extending its rebate program. The Clean Transportation Incentive Program will now last through April 30th, 2026. The program provides financial support to people who buy electric vehicles and also businesses who install charging stations. According to DENREC, people could get up to $2,500 in rebates. The program could cover up to 90% of installation costs for businesses.
A special event zone is on its way to Ocean City. This is for the annual Cruising OC event. The town says reduced speed limits and increased fines for violations will be in place starting on April 29th. There will also be a bigger focus on parking violations, and the special event zone for this will end on May 4th.
New this morning in Slaughter Beach, Cedar Creek Drawbridge is scheduled to reopen in less than 2 hours. It's according to DelDOT. It will end a month-long detour. The return to normal driving is something people living there are looking forward to.
It's actually pretty exciting because it's been down now, I guess, I don't know, a couple months. And, you know, all the people on this side, they got to go all the way back down to the other end of town and go out that way. And the other part of it is that we have a couple businesses in town, right in back of us, kind of. And so for them, it's really great, too.
The drawbridge closed in early March. That was due to an unexpected malfunction.
An update on the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the alleged MS-13 gang member who was living in Maryland when he was deported to a super prison in El Salvador. A State Department official tells a federal judge Abrego Garcia is no longer housed in El Salvador's CCOT prison. The official cited recent comments made by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, who visited with Abrego Garcia. Authorities have moved that man to a detention facility in Santa Ana. Abrego Garcia reportedly now is out of his cell and has a room with his own bed and furniture. And we are just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News today.
They're coming up, SEAL Rescue Review, how this weekend broke records for Marin. Also, we have one not-so-happy ending.
And Watch for Work Zones will tell you how Delmarva is protecting its employees during National Work Zone Awareness Week.
Fighting against algae, the efforts set to take place in Salisbury. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
It is exactly 5:11 on this Tuesday morning. Here's our Bay Health Cam in Dover. I think you're dry there right now, but we're seeing some showers popping up across Sussex County near Millsboro, maybe around Fenwick Island towards Laurel near Bridgeville. Also some showers around the Salisbury area into Maryland too, and back to the coast. So we're seeing a few stray showers this morning. That is along a warm front that is lifting through. Not a lot of rain, just some scattered showers. So grab the umbrella just in case. We're looking at 60s inland right now. We're missing some data from the beach right now, but we're looking at 50s there. Here's a drive cast. This morning I did give it the yellow light for a few showers. It remains mild. Otherwise, we'll see some sun and temperatures quickly rising and then dry and mild into this evening with temperatures into the 70s to near 80 degrees and light winds.
Bob, and spring break is ending for many children on Delmarva, and today is the first day back for many schools. Wicomico and Worcester County schools return today. However, Milford, Cape, and Indian River School District say their break isn't over until April 25th, and classes will resume on Monday, April 28th. And this just in, Salisbury said it is making efforts to remove harmful algae from its waterways. According to the city, its fielded operations will treat ponds and other waterways in May. Hydrilla and harmful algae blooms are the focus of these treatments, and the city will use algicides and herbicides to prevent growth. 2 or more treatments could be necessary in the areas with more severe growth.
New overnight, Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles launching a new service to save thousands of visits to physical locations. This is for people who sell their car out of state but want to keep their license plate. They can now apply online. The agency says it sees over 8,500 of out-of-state sales each year, and this new online service is estimated to save about 9,000 trips to the DMV.
Instagram is testing artificial intelligence to sniff out teens pretending to be adults. If AI detects that an adult account actually belongs to a teenager, it will automatically implement teen account settings. Instagram parent company Meta is making the changes as industry experts debate who or what should be responsible for age verification.
Department of Education is going to restart collecting federal student loans in default on May 5th. It will end roughly a 5-year-long pandemic-era pause and could impact more than 5 million borrowers. The department is urging borrowers in default to start making monthly payments, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or to sign up for loan rehabilitation.
You're seeing some showers popping up out there right now. Not yet at the beach, Ocean City, 58 degrees. And we're looking at a toasty Tuesday after the showers. And we're looking at temperatures near 80 degrees this afternoon. Slightly cooler for the rest of the week with some heavier rain and storms possible into Saturday. I'll have your complete forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is 5:16, and we're getting a live look at the canals along the Assawoman Bay in Ocean City. April 22nd, Bob, annually acknowledged as Earth Day.
Yes, we have to take care of Mother Earth, Matt, right? You know, we have to do our part, make sure we recycle, don't litter, don't be a litter bug. And here's our Earth Day planner for today to see the person recycling there. 10 a.m., 71 degrees, the flowers are blooming. I think the showers will be done by then by 2:80 degrees inland areas, and by 6 p.m. around 75. We are seeing some showers right now moving in along a warm front into Sussex County and other parts of Delmarva. Seeing those showers near Greenwood, near Bridgeville, Seaford, Hollymount, Dewey Beach. These are light showers near Laurel as well, Millsboro. And then steady showers around Salisbury towards Highway 50 and points east towards Ocean City, Snow Hill, seeing some of these spotty showers too. And we'll continue to see these moving through as we go through the next hour or so. You can see it's just one clump of showers that's moving through Delmarva, and it's along a warm front that is moving through, and this will usher in very warm air as we go into the afternoon hours as we're looking at a lot of clouds back to our west, and there's also a cold front to our west. This will be swinging through later today, and behind it just slightly cooler air, not colder, but cooler high pressure, meaning nice weather for the middle to end part of the week. Right now, temperature-wise, 66 in Georgetown, 67 in Seaford, very mild 66 in Salisbury. We do apologize for the missing data. We're missing the temperatures along the beaches right now. Ocean City, 57, as we're looking at a southwesterly wind now kicking in, and that'll really warm us up. But we do have those morning showers. Otherwise, temperatures in the 60s by 9 a.m. Already upper 60s, inland areas, some peaks of sun as well. At the beaches, 50s and 60s. And then by noon, we're into the mid to upper 70s from Seaford to Delmar, Selbyville as well. Cooler 60s, I think, from Fenwick Island to Bethany Beach, but 72 in Rehoboth. By 3 p.m., you're mainly in the 60s there. But look at this, 80 in Millsboro, Delmar, and Salisbury. So very mild conditions. As we go through the evening, still very pleasant, and then through the overnight, We will be cooling down from the 60s into the 50s, I think, tomorrow morning, low to mid 50s. And the flow does start to come in out of the northeast tomorrow, so a little cooler with 60s inland areas, some 50s at the coast with that onshore flow. So instead of near 80 degrees, I think we're looking at low 70s from Salisbury to Georgetown and cooler 50s and 60s as you get closer to the coast. But I think we're looking at a lot of sunshine. I want to fast forward to the weekend because we're looking at some rain, I think, as we go into your Saturday. Could be moving in late morning, early afternoon. Could be a steady rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder too as a cold front moves through. Lingering showers Saturday night. Otherwise, I think we start to dry it out as we go into your Sunday. So kind of a 50-50 weekend at this point. Paul Davis 7-day forecast up to 80 degrees today. Overnight lows well above the frost level. Frost-free 40s and 50s. And then 72 on Wednesday. 73 Thursday, partly cloudy skies, mid-70s Friday. Then we're watching for those showers and storms on Saturday, 76. And then Sunday's better, partly cloudy, 66. And then Monday, a mix of sun and clouds and a high around 70 degrees. Our umbrella giveaway winner today is Tori Duracek from Millsboro. Congratulations, Tori, on your brand new umbrella from Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling and Coast TV.
All right, thank you, Bob. Happening now, National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. DelDOT marking the occasion by honoring those on the front lines of projects. DelDOT held a ceremony to remember workers who were injured or killed while working on roads in the state. In the last 3 years, 65 DelDOT employees were hurt in work zone crashes. 13 of those injuries were serious.
The national slogan is respect the zone so we all get home. And at the end of the day, I just want everybody to get home to their families. And so again, I hope that folks will slow down and pay attention while driving through work zones.
And DelDOT says it continues to make road worker safety a priority until it reaches zero injuries. Maryland encouraging locals to move over and slow down, they say, so that everyone can make it back home.
Coast TV Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams hosted a fundraiser last night at Nicola Pizza in Lewis, all support to his annual walk for prostate cancer. The event featured a silent auction and a 50-50 raffle, with all proceeds going towards the cause. The walk for prostate cancer is scheduled for September 13th.
Yeah, Lisa, I can attest to this good turnout and the enthusiasm because here is that guy, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. It was really great seeing so many people wanting to help a cause that it does mean a lot to us here.
And up next on Coast TV News today, Seal Rescue Review will tell you how many animals MERS says ended up on Delaware shores just over the weekend. Don't go anywhere. Happening today, celebrate Earth Day with a beach cleanup. People can give back to the environment at the DuPont Nature Center by participating in the event hosted by DenRec. According to the agency, cleanup starts at the Slaughter Beach Pavilion. A limited amount of trash bags and gloves will be provided. The event begins at 10 a.m.
Mayor had a busy Easter holiday weekend, responding to a record 5 seals along Delaware beaches, plus a dolphin. Unfortunately, one older gray seal named Leo passed away near the Indian River Inlet. Mayor says most of the rescued seals rested for a while before returning to the water.
Coming up this Friday and Saturday, head over to Harrington Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoor Expo. That will be on Friday the 25th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturday the 26th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The DSN Outdoor Expo at Harrington Fairgrounds this weekend. And Matt Bob keeps saying a toasty Tuesday, which means it could be a good beach day and it's Earth Day.
I like the word toasty, and with people off for spring break, I think we're going to see some big crowds along the coast today, Bob.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, we're getting more of that sustained warmth, even at the beaches that we're looking at really comfortable conditions. Now, it's going to be a little cooler in Ocean City. I think you're only topping out in the low 70s here. Some morning showers. The same with Fenwick Island, too. Starting out in the 60s, mid-70s for you. So a little warmer. Make sure you pack the sunscreen. UV index is moderate. Waves not very big, around 1 to 3 feet. Lewis looking at some showers this morning, some peaks of sun too, mid-70s and mid-70s. Similar conditions into Rehoboth. It's near 80 as we go into the inland areas. And then we're looking at Cambridge, looking at mid-70s as we go through the day. A little cooler for you in Crisfield. And then we do cool it off as we go to the middle to end part of the week. Maybe some heavier rain for parts of the weekend. More on your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
break on Coast TV News today. Overpass progress persists. We'll tell you what traffic changes you can expect today that could throw a wrench in your morning commute.
Also, Pope Francis' funeral plans, what the 88-year-old pontiff requested in his last will.
An Earth Day dilemma, why celebrating the environment may prove difficult across the country. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Reaction and plans as the world remembers Pope Francis, what to expect in the selection of the next Catholic Church leader.
Traffic takes turn. New changes are in effect for Route 1 near Milton. How this design is aimed to eliminate crashes.
Clean energy extension, why Delaware is pushing EV program incentives into 2026.
A toasty Tuesday for Delmarva as a warm front is bringing in temperatures near 80 degrees today. A bit milder for the rest of the week behind a cold front and remaining dry. Details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
April 22nd, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
And we're approaching 5:30 on this Tuesday morning. And if you're just joining us, and if you're off for spring break today, we have a great afternoon shaping up at our beaches.
Absolutely. 80 degrees, April. This is a good sign, Matt. You going to go to the beach today?
I have chores to do after work, so I usually probably won't be. I don't have that window until the weekend, so I'll have to watch Bob's extended forecast later on.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yes,
morning.
Good morning, Bob. Tell us about this beautiful weather.
Yeah, good morning, Elisa and Matt. Matt doing chores. I know it's probably not cutting the grass. He doesn't like doing that.
I got that tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe washing the car. Well, maybe don't wash the car this morning because we are looking at some showers that are moving through. These are quickly zipping through Sussex County right now, around Gumboro to Georgetown. Also along the beaches around Rehoboth down to Bethany Beach, seeing some showers near Pittsville. Salisbury, you had some showers. Ocean Pines. These are not very heavy. Maybe just grab the umbrella out the door. They're quickly moving on through. It's along a warm front that we're seeing this activity, and we've got warmer air that will be funneling in. That will give us a very nice temperatures today. And then a cold front will slide through, and that will cool us off beginning tomorrow for the rest of the week. But it's mild from Salisbury to Milton and Seaford. Mid-60s. Apologize for the missing data at the beaches, but we're mainly 50s to around 60 here from Rehoboth to Bethany Beach, 57 in Ocean City, as we have a southwesterly breeze, and that will really warm us up. I think the showers are gone by 6 a.m. We'll start to see breaks in the clouds and temperatures quickly warming. By noon, we're into the mid-70s and pretty much near 80. Salisbury back to Millsboro early afternoon, and then by mid-afternoon, lots of 80s showing up inland. I think 60s at the beaches, maybe a pop-up shower into the evening hours, but I think we are dry. Most of the showers are this morning. And for the kiddos in Maryland, I think Ocean City and Salisbury, it's back to school for you. Off to school 66, a few showers, and then heading home just warm and dry, temperatures near 80 degrees.
You, Bob, in our top story this half hour, on this particular Earth Day, a U.S. city that's below sea level is one of several recovering from flooding.
Amy Kiley has more on New Orleans and other flood-ravaged areas of the country.
This is insane.
On this Earth Day, parts of the U.S. are dealing with ongoing flood risks after deadly storms.
I'm in a truck SUV and the water is like almost halfway up my door. It's crazy out here.
This video is from the New Orleans area, where some evening commuters had to take refuge on higher ground yesterday.
Welcome to Nola River. As y'all can see, this is going on. I've been stuck here for like 30 minutes.
We see all the cars, look around.
Some who ventured out appear to have encountered difficulty, including stalls and at least one crash.
When's your shift supposed to end?
5 o'clock.
You think you're going to get home?
9 o'clock.
The Army Corps of Engineers says it took advantage of the high water to test a spillway north of the city.
We're expecting it to crest at 16.5 feet on April 30th. We do this when the river's high enough. As you all can see behind me, the river's pushing through the structure itself, and that's very close to when we actually operate, how conditions are.
Flooding also in parts of the Houston area yesterday. In Oklahoma, several people are dead after weekend storms. They include 2 children and their mothers who were swept away in floodwaters. Officials say dozens of others required high water rescues. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now taking a live look at St. Peter's Square at Vatican City in Rome. Mourners can pay their respects with the body of Pope Francis displayed for the first time this morning. Francis's body is lying in a wooden coffin in red vestments and his bishop's mitre. Cardinals are in the process of scheduling Pope Francis's funeral and burial more immediate. They will determine when his body can be moved into St. Peter's Basilica for public viewing.
Asking the Lord's mercy on his immortal soul, thanking God for the gift that he was to us, and asking for consolation upon God's family.
In his final will, Pope Francis requested burial at St. Mary Major Basilica. The 88-year-old pontiff died Monday after suffering a stroke that put him in a coma and led his heart to fail.
If you've driven down Route 1 or 16, you know it's busy. Lots of traffic, and the intersection of the two is dangerous. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions. Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project will begin. DelDOT says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding area continues. According to the agency, people should expect delays today as work takes place to shift traffic.
Happening tonight in Milton, 2 for the price of 1, so to speak. Dunkin' Donuts and Dairy Queen will get their site plans reviewed at the town's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. First, let's talk about Dunkin'. Several of the items that are being presented include details about sidewalks and parking. There's also some slight revisions for storm water drainage. This is at 403 Broadkill Road, and debate continues about Dunkin' since it was first proposed last year.
And right next door, a Dairy Queen. It is in a different stage. A public hearing is taking place tonight at the Planning and Zoning meeting about the site plan. 302 Chicken LLC, Pannoni Associates Incorporated, is expected to present revisions for the fast food restaurant plan for 405 Broadkill Road. That is right across the street from where the McDonald's is located. This morning, a return to normal in Slaughter Beach. Cedar Creek Drawbridge is reopening at 7 a.m. That's according to DelDOT. It ends a month-long detour situation. The drawbridge closed in early March due to an unexpected malfunction. A special event zone is on its way to Ocean City. This is for the annual summer cruising event. The town says reduced speed limits and increased fines for violations will be in place starting on April 29th. There will also be a bigger focus on parking violations, and the special event zone will end on May 4th. Delaware is continuing to push for electric vehicles by extending its rebate program. The Clean Transportation Incentive Program will now last through April 30th of 2026. The program provides financial support to people who buy electric vehicles and businesses who install charging stations. According to DENREC, people could get up to $2,500 in rebates. The program would cover 90% of installation costs for businesses. And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, Seaford Seeks Aldi will tell you what next steps are underway to bring the discount grocery store to the city. Also, Caps and OT, the thriller in the district. We'll hear from the captain on his game-winning goal. Bay Bridge safety suggestions will tell you what Maryland could implement to increase safety on the major Delmarva roadway. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
It is exactly 5:39 on our Tuesday morning. Spicer Brothers Cam and Salisbury showing a couple of raindrops on the lens, 66 degrees. You've had a few showers. Those are moving to your east now, and they're quickly moving through eastern Sussex County from Milford down to Highway 9, Millsboro, Bayville seeing some showers. These are quickly moving through Willards to Ocean Pines, and then farther south into Snow Hill. We'll continue to watch these showers moving to the east. They'll be out here in the next hour or two max as we're watching a warm front lifting through. That will usher in very warm air today. 66 Salisbury, Georgetown, and Red, and 67 in Seaford. Apologize for the missing data at the beaches, but you're in the 50s to near 60 there with the southwesterly winds, and that will usher in the warm air. Today's checklist, umbrella and raincoat briefly for this morning. Windbreaker 2, and then you'll need the sunscreen later on and the summer clothes. The temperatures in the 70s to near 80 degrees, and make sure you have the sunglasses too. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. It's another way to get your forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer announced his nomination of Joshua Sanderlin to serve as Delaware's new marijuana commissioner. This comes after the former commissioner stepped down in January. Sanderlin's nomination will require confirmation by the Delaware State Senate.
And to Maryland, the Transportation Authority is developing a risk reduction plan for the Bay Bridge following safety recommendations from the National Transportation Safety Board. According to the MDTA, the department is seeking action after a federal report raised concerns about how vulnerable bridges are to vessel strikes. Officials say they hired an expert firm to study that risk, and the MDTA says it is looking at short-term steps like slower ship speeds and long-term fixes like adding barriers to protect the bridge.
First round of the NHL playoffs is underway, and as they have done 3 previous times in franchise history, the Capitals are the top seed in the East. Seeding does not mean much in the postseason. Caps fans, you know what I'm talking about here. As the roller coaster ride started Monday night against the Canadiens. Another year of playoff hockey in D.C. Late in the first, the puck finds its way to Alex Ovechkin. He rips it home, and the Caps open with a 1-0 lead. It's a lead the Capitals will hold until about 4 minutes left in regulation. The Canadiens' Nick Suzuki beats Logan Thompson. We're tied at 2. We're headed to overtime. We're just 2 minutes in. There goes the hero. Ovechkin does it again. The game winner. The first overtime playoff goal in that long career of the Great 8, sending the arena crowd into a frenzy, and afterwards it was a pretty calm captain.
I think it was great play by Stromer win the faceoff. It was kind of a little scrum, and but we have a first shot, and then he tried to find Meta, and good things happen.
Capitals take the 1-0 series lead with a 3-2 overtime win. Game 2 Wednesday night in the district. In New York, Francisco Lindor had 2 home runs Monday night. Here's one, leading the Mets to a 5-4 win over the Phillies. The Phillies made it interesting in the 9th, scoring all 4 of their runs, but could not complete the comeback. And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 8:30, NCAA men's lacrosse, Salisbury University home with St. Mary's, and then it is the final score at 10:30. Over on the DSM Plus app, you get that Seagulls lacrosse game along with these exclusives at noon. Henlopen Conference Baseball, that's when Milford hosts Polytech. 4 o'clock, we go to the Bayside Conference when Queen Anne's takes on St. Michael's. 4:30, Sussex Central hosting Decatur in high school softball.
Into the Trenches is back for its 3rd season this year. We follow the Cape Henlopen Vikings football team fresh off their first state championship appearance in 40 years. DSN takes you to the practice field, inside the locker rooms, and on the sidelines as the team hopes to prove themselves once again amongst the top teams in Delaware Class 3A. Into the Trenches premieres Thursday, April 24th at 7:30 on DSN and DSN Plus. The Motion Picture Academy has announced some new rules and regulations, including one that directly affects Oscar votes. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
It may seem obvious, but now it's official. Motion Picture Academy members must watch all of the nominated films in a category to vote in that category. Before, voters were encouraged to see every nominee before voting. Now it's a requirement. The Academy also announced guidelines for its newest category, Achievement in Casting. That award debuts on the 98th Academy Awards, March 15, 2026.
Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them.
A group of children mysteriously disappears overnight in Weapons. The first teaser trailer for the horror film just dropped. Weapons, from Barbarians writer-director Zach Kreger, is due in theaters August 8th.
We have to fix this.
Okay, fine. What do we do?
We trade our top talent, Paris and New York. Put fresh faces out there. Get people interested in dance again.
Rival ballet companies find a way for the show to go on in Etoile. The executive producers of Gilmore Girls and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel are behind the comedy series. All 8 episodes dance onto Prime Video Thursday. Staying on point in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Salisbury, you've been seeing some showers this morning. Those are moving to your east. Some wet roads drying out, though. We're seeing some breaks in the overcast right now, and it's very mild. In fact, we've got a toasty Tuesday on the way for Delmarva. Temperatures near 80 degrees away from the coast later today, and then slightly cooler for the rest of the week. Heavier rain and storms possible on Saturday. I'll have your forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 5:47 and we're taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. Bob, I know we have some light sprinkles on the way and then it's going to be warm. Right now, looking pretty clear in Salisbury though.
Yeah, just a little sprinkles out there, Lisa, just some light showers that are quickly moving through. They'll be out here probably in the next couple of hours. Otherwise, we're looking at a very warm day. And some of those showers could linger for a time across areas of Maryland, but they're quick movers. Otherwise, we're warming to near 80 degrees today. And then Wednesday through Friday, we're looking at sunny conditions and temperatures nice, low to mid 70s. I think it is unsettled into the weekend. A chance of some rain on Saturday. More on that coming up. And we're seeing a little bit of shower activity this morning now around Millsboro towards Ocean View, up near Lewis and Rehoboth. These showers quickly moving to the east. They were around the Georgetown area earlier, but now around Long Neck, Ocean View, Selbyville, and Fenwick Island. Just a brief shower. Also back through Ocean Pines at the present time, and a little farther south into Ocean City, Golf Club Shores. And you'll see these showers moving through the next half hour or so. But you have dried out in Salisbury right now, and western Sussex County and the eastern shore as well, but still a few lingering sprinkles or showers are possible here in the next couple of hours. Otherwise, we're looking at a warm front that is moving on through, and you step outside, you can definitely feel we're on the warmer side of this warm front. It's a little muggy. We've got temperatures in the 60s right now, and we also have a cold front back to the west from Kentucky up into western PA. A few showers along it, and then this will be sliding to the east as we go through the day. Not expecting anything in the way of showers with it, but it will be a little cooler behind this front as we go into the midweek to latter part of the week with high pressure building in. 67 in Seaford now, 66 in Georgetown and Salisbury, and a little muggy with those showers coming through. 57 in Ocean City. We're missing data from Bethany Beach to Rehoboth, but 50s to around 60 there. And we do have a southwesterly breeze, and that will continue to bring in that warmer air today. So Futurecast is 7 a.m. has temperatures in the 60s, 50s at the coast, and I think the showers are moving offshore. By mid-morning, we're going to see more in the way of sunshine, upper 60s inland areas, and then 50s and 60s at the beaches. By the noon hour, around 69 in Bethany Beach, 72 in Rehoboth inland areas, upper 70s in Millsboro and Delmar, and then by mid-afternoon, 80s showing up in Salisbury, Delmar, Millsboro, some other places too. A little cooler at the beaches with 60s to around 70 degrees. And then as we go into the evening hours, we'll be seeing temperatures mild inland, 60s and 70s, but cooler at the coast. And then eventually we'll start to see the flow coming in out of the northeast. So that will start to cool us off into Wednesday morning into the low to mid 50s. And with that cooler wind, that will take the edge off the warmth a little bit into Wednesday. By noon, we're into the 60s and then lower 70s in the afternoon hours with 50s and 60s at the beaches. So a little cool down on the way. By the weekend, heads up for some showers, maybe some heavier rain, steadier rain into Saturday. I know it's not the best timing, but looks like we're going to be seeing some showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder too. That could linger into Saturday night. Then it looks like it does start to dry out and maybe cool off a little bit into Sunday. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 80 today with the morning showers, and then we dry it out Wednesday through Friday, low to mid 70s for highs with partly cloudy skies. Those overnight lows is in the 40s and 50s, so go ahead and start your planting process. By Saturday, that chance of showers and some storms, 76. Drier and cooler Sunday, and then mild on Monday, partly cloudy, and a high around 70.
Thank you, Bob. If you have unused prescriptions you no longer have a use for, this Saturday, April 26th, locations across Delmarva participating in National Drug Take Back Day. This includes the Milton Police Department, the Rehoboth Beach Police Department, and Maryland State Police Barracks in Salisbury and Berlin.
In Maryland, MDOT has opened applications for up to $2 million through a Bikeways Network grant program. If you didn't know, that's a program aimed at expanding bicycle infrastructure and improving safety across the state. Grants support projects like building trail connections and bike lanes, with funding available for up to 80% of eligible costs. That deadline to apply is May 26th.
A popular grocery chain looking to set up shop in Seaford. A final public hearing on the Aldi store taking place at Tuesday night's City Council meeting. According to plans, the location is on Route 13 across from the Lowe's Shopping Center. After the public hearing, there's still approvals to get since it's on a state road. Shoppers we spoke with say they are looking forward to having more options.
Absolutely. It's a great place to live. It's a slower pace of life than where we're from, which was outside of D.C., and I enjoyed that about it, but at the same time, we want to have the good shopping and see things progress.
And the public hearing, again, tonight, 7 o'clock at City Hall.
It's 5:52 and it's time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a playful pup on your screen. That is Bella. You can see by where she's laying in this picture, Bella loves to play with that cat toy, Cat Tree. Bella was submitted to us by Mike and Cindy in Selbyville.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan that QR code at the top there, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. According to a new report, cancer death rates in the U.S. are declining. It's according to the 2024 annual report to the nation on the status of cancer. It showed a steady decline in overall cancer deaths from 2001 through 2022. The rate of diagnosis among men fell from 2001 to 2013 and then stabilized through 2021. But among women, the diagnosis rate did increase slightly every year between 2003 and 2021.
The time is now 5:56. We're going to take another look at your forecast.
This afternoon, Bob, I'm going to steal your word because I think you stole it from me. Could be a bit toasty for late April.
I stole it from you?
I think you did.
Oh boy.
I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll have to go back and check the videotape. We're looking at a toasty Tuesday away from the coast. It's going to be a little cooler at the beaches, probably 60s and 70s there. A few showers out the door this morning. We're seeing those moving through now for the next hour or so. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds today. We warm from the 60s to the 70s to near 80 degrees inland areas, but a little cooler at the coast. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Overnight lows warming up nicely through the 40s and 50s. Wednesday, 72, 73 Thursday, 74 Friday. So a nice stretch of weather with partly cloudy skies. I think we're looking at some showers and storms into Saturday. Could wash away your plans a little bit. We'll continue to watch at 76, but then drier and cooler on Sunday, 66, and then looking mild into next week, Monday and Tuesday in the 70s. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, toasty again with lower 80s and partly cloudy skies.
Take that. Thank you, Bob. Coming up in our next hour, plans for new Pope. With people now able to view and more on Pope Francis, the efforts that are underway to find the new head of the Catholic Church. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.